It's JoJo time again. After another month, we get a new chapter of the Jojolands, and this is honestly another really good chapter, setting up for an actual conflict for how things are going to basically start things off. This chapter is honestly pretty fast paced. We got through Rohan's house, we get to where we needed to go, but we also have some other questions on what's going on, why is Rohan actually in Hawaii? And a very mysterious figure that we've seen throughout this chapter, and setting up what this conflict could end up being about, but we'll get into that once we go through the actual chapter. So let's just hit that intro and get right into the video. Chapter 3 of the Jojolands, titled Find the Diamond in the Mansion. And this chapter starts off directly from last week, where Jodio is currently spying on Rohan while he's in the pool, and he manages to try and maneuver around so Rohan doesn't see him as he's swimming, and ducks behind a chair where the table is, and sneakily grabs Rohan's iPad, looks through it, and actually finds that he is in fact Rohan Kishibe, a mangaka, and he is looking through his tablet and sees notes of half-drawn drawings of his manga Pink Dark Boy. And obviously Jodio is kind of, nerding out a little bit that he's actually viewing this, and just being able to see artwork like this is making his day. But he reassures himself that they have to get the diamond. It's why they're here. $6 million in this mansion right now. We then cut to Dragona using her stand smooth operators to try and pick the lock and open the front door as they get into the mansion. Ako and Usagi are keeping lookout as Dragona is opening the door, as Usagi looks over and sees a cat walking around the premises. They manage to get the door open, and she checks over with Jodio to see if things at the pool are going as expected. Jodio tells him that there are no issues, but they should be careful regardless. They enter into the mansion, and, well, yeah, they witness a really cool looking mansion. I gotta love the 2-page spreads that Araki does and adds actual details into everything. So yeah, we see them walking into the mansion, and Dragona is looking around in the living room, as he then tells Usagi and Pako to not steal anything else and only look for the diamond. Find a safe or something, it should be hidden somewhere. He then looks over and finds Pako stealing a bunch of knickknacks, statues, and clocks with his stand, and Usagi stealing a bunch of liquor and wine from the wine cabinet. He then lectures them over not to do this because it's going to get very hard to get all this past security, and this will just make things a lot worse, and tells them to put everything back where they found them and to look for a safe. Usagi opens up a painting to look behind it, nothing's there. But then Dragona goes around the corner, opens a door, and sees what seems to be like a geological research room or something, because there's a bunch of cold lava and rocks all over the place with flasks and such. As we're looking around, Jodio looks through the tablet some more and sees pictures of volcanoes, lava flow, a map, and cooled down lava. And that these are crazy amounts of photos for all this stuff, and what's really strange and fascinating is that Rohan would have had to go up close to get pictures of these dangerous locations that tourists aren't allowed to go through. And he wonders if because Rohan's a mangaka that he's basically just been fascinated and interested about all this stuff, and that's why he did the risk. And we know if this is the same exact Rohan, which it probably is, from the previous universe in terms of writing and personality, Rohan probably did all this for inspiration and just wanted to get up close and personal and try and figure out how all this stuff worked with his own eyes. For, obvious inspiration. Dragona and co are wondering why he has all these beakers and flasks and stuff, but so surprisingly, Usagi has some sort of knowledge on flasks and the type of lava, which is lava or AA lava. I'm getting geology class flashbacks with this because I remember having a lecture about lava. I'm not going to get into it. I didn't like geology class, let's just go with that. But after saying some facts about lava and flasks, Usagi says he's not sure what Rohan's doing these for, and Pako says, "You just gave us a bunch of useless information then, what good is that going to do with us?" Obviously, this information is probably going to play into the larger mystery and plot of Jojolands, because Hawaii, there's volcanoes, Rohan's doing research on this stuff, so this is obviously going to be important in some way, shape, or form. Jodio keeps scrolling through the tablet as all this is going on, finds pictures of a dog, and is wondering if Rohan has a dog, or is just having it be watched by someone back in Japan. As a cat that we saw originally that Usagi managed to catch a glimpse of at the start of the chapter, is walking around, looking around and through the living room and poolside area, and then climbs up to the roof. And Jodio's wondering, wait, if Rohan has a dog, then whose cat has been wandering around this place this whole time? He then notices Rohan getting out from the pool, and he begins to look around. Jodio, noticing this, quickly and swiftly puts the tablet back where he found it, as he contacts Dragona, telling him that this is an emergency, they gotta get out of there. Rohan seems to be going inside the house. Dragona asks if they noticed him, but Jodio says probably not yet at least, but they gotta get out of there, it's very dangerous. If he gets into the house, things are gonna get very dangerous. Rohan walks up, and he actually noticed the cat wandering around earlier. He's like, where'd it come from? Is it a stray? It is strange that for a cat to show up here all of a sudden. Could that possibly belong to someone? And Jodio is wondering, wait, belong to someone? Does that mean it doesn't belong to Rohan? I mean, he placed that together right now, but maybe Rohan knows more than what's being let on here, and this cat is definitely going to play a role in this chapter, so pay attention, I guess. Dragona asks what's going on, if they have to leave, but Jodio says they gotta leave right now. He runs into them inside the mansion, it'll be considered a robbery, and they'll get all types of heat on them, and they'll be chased all around the island of Hawaii. So they could just run away and try again some different day. It doesn't have to be today, since they kind of risk getting caught. But almost on cue, Usagi and Paco find the safe behind a bookshelf. Rohan walks into the living room as Jodio is keeping an eye on him to update Dragona on the situation as they go along. And Usagi and Paco says, come on, we have to hurry and open up the safe right now. Dragona looks out into the hallway to see if Rohan's on his way. But Paco states, look, we've come this far, don't say we gotta leave now. And Dragona's just like, you know what, fine, let's do this. Keep an eye out on the hallway in case he comes, I'll try and open the door as quickly as possible. Dragona uses his smooth operators to try and open up the safe. Meanwhile, Jodio is like, you guys are actually doing this? We're actually going to keep going? As Rohan opens the sliding door and walks into the house. But then he notices rainfall. Jodio uses November rain to get rain over on the pool area, as it catches Rohan's attention as he goes outside, noticing that his tablet is getting wet. He's wondering, is this a sun shower? The sky's totally clear though. And then he notices something on the tablet. He gets pricked by a cactus pin, and he's kind of staring at the cactus, so it's obvious that Jodio someone used November rain to take some of the needles from the cactus, put it on the tablet so Rohan can get stung with it. Not sure why, but maybe just to keep him distracted a little longer. And Jodio's hiding once more in the same spot, keeping an eye on Rohan. Contacting Dragona and saying that he kind of gave them a little more time, and is asked if the safe is going to be open if they need more time. But he then notices the cat again inside the house, and says, so wait, he went inside. And Rohan, I think, notices the cat and says, wait, could it be? As we then cut back to Dragona's group. So obviously Rohan is getting some sort of idea of what this cat is and why it's wandered into the house somewhere, because it jumped over into the roof, so it probably came in from like a chimney or something, or an open window from up there. Dragona uses smooth operators and opens the safe, but apparently there are 5 metal bars in that door, so it's going to be pretty heavy to open the door outside of unlocking it. And asks the guys to help, but Usagi says, wait, there's a cat, it's walking towards us down the hallway. But the cat passes them by and goes around the corner. And Usagi pieces together this is actually the cat that was outside wandering around earlier and is wondering how to get in. But Paco says as long as it doesn't make any noise, it really doesn't matter. Dragona got the door open, and there it is, the diamond that they're after. Safely secured in the safe and presented for them to properly steal. The group jumps for joy as they did it. They got the diamond, they succeeded in their mission, now all they gotta do is get out. $6 million is theirs. But Dragona glances into the safe once more and notices that there's a piece of cold lava inside the safe with the diamond. Why is there one of these in the safe along with the diamond? Why would Rohan keep it locked up? So obviously this is once again gonna be very important for the plot of this story. I'm not entirely sure what it's gonna be about. I'm honestly still kind of halfway through Jojolands, so it might have something to do with the rock humans for all we know, because they were introduced in Jojolands. I haven't gotten to the conclusion of that, and I'll make videos on it eventually, but it could have something to do with the rock humans or something like that, because they seem to be being a proper big role in Jojoland, so maybe it's being worked into Jojolands right now. But everyone is just getting ready to leave, and they walk out the door as a string ties itself around Paco's leg and then tightens it up as he falls to the ground, saying that something is around his ankle, and it's a fishing line, and it continues to twist and turn and tie itself tightly around his ankle, squeezing it incredibly hard, putting Paco in immense pain and causing him to bleed, shocking everyone in the group. Is wondering what's going on, what's happening. It's tightening even faster, and yeah, Paco's in a lot of pain, is wondering what the heck is going on. Dragona goes to check up on him and is wondering what's going on and if they can get this string off of him. But then another piece of string goes around Dragona's arm. Usagi obviously looks very concerned, and they look again at the string, and it is plastic string or fishing wire. Another piece of string goes over toward Usagi and try and get around his foot, but Usagi jumps up and manages to dodge just in the nick of time, striking everyone that this string, again, is moving on its own. They look over at the side of the hallway, and that it's string, but then it starts to sparkle and seemingly disappears, showing that yes, it is fishing line, it's floating, and it's translucent. And Paco is wondering, is this some kind of new security system or something? Because this stuff won't come off, and it's getting tighter and tighter as it go along. But Usagi says, hey, it's gotta be that cat, right? The cat set up that string when it went down the hallway before, and asked where to go. Paco and Dragona are like, wait, what are you talking about? The cat set it up? And Usagi pieced it together surprisingly quickly that you haven't figured this out yet? There ain't no security system that works like this. What's happening right now is a stand attack, and it's attacking us. That cat was targeting us this whole time. You get what I'm saying here, right? Yes, this mysterious cat is seemingly being set up to be a stand user. Now, we know that animals can actually have stands. This is something that we've seen from part 3 with Iggy and Pet Shop, with them having stand abilities, and that orangutan that we'd rather not speak of. But yeah, we've had moments where animals did have stands. I haven't seen this in Jojolands, just at one streets. In part 7, I don't think it had any sentient animals with stands. But it's always been a cool concept that animals can have stands, since they are living beings. But we're cutting back to Rohan at the very end of the chapter as he looks back at the pool and notices something interesting. That the rain that came down was only in that one specific area on the table where his tablet was. And rightfully deduces that something actually is off, going by how the rain was used, and it's almost like the rain was stuck in that one particular area, because it was only the tablet area that was wet and the chair that he left his iPad on. And then there's the cactus spine, as the final panel is Jodio calling into Dragona, wondering what's going on, because they're in trouble. The final line is that he's someone who can see them. Ending the chapter. 100% confirming that Rohan in this universe, obviously, if we really think about it, is in fact a stand user. So, Rohan has a stand. Is it Heaven's Door? I have no freaking clue. It probably is, based on the manga he's drawing, and the character that we see looks a lot like the character that he writes in his manga in part 4, and it kind of looks a lot like his stand, Heaven's Door. So, let's just think about this for a second, but yeah, a pretty cool chapter. They infiltrated the house, they found the diamond, but Rohan has been doing research into volcanoes, specific pieces of lava flow, etc. Has a bunch of flasks, doing stuff with heat and research on these cool pieces of lava, had one in the safe to keep safe, along with the diamond, and now a cat, potentially stand-using cat, is attacking Dragona's group, and Rohan is beginning to piece together that something is off, as Jodio begins to realize that, yeah, Rohan can see stands, he's probably a stand user, and they're probably fucked. But yeah, chapter really good, very interesting. I have no idea what's gonna happen with the lava. Like I stated earlier, I'm still like halfway through part 8 right now. I'm like around chapter 60, 70, I'm still working towards the end. I'm gonna be making videos on that within the next few months, most likely. But either way, it might have something to do with those rock humans that were introduced in Jojolands and are playing a major role in the story thus far. I have no idea. I'm so blind on Jojolands and how all that's working out, but it could tie into that. It'd be a really nice thing to fully tie part 8 in some way, shape, or form to part 9. And what Rohan is doing here is beyond me. It could just be flat out manga research, or maybe he's working with the Josuke of this universe or something like that. No clue. But Rohan piecing things together, maybe he's here and he's finding some other group, and maybe this cat is with this other group and working to do something to Rohan or find his research or something like that. I'm not particularly sure, but things seem to be getting very interesting, and the foreboding message at the very beginning of the part really does seem like we're going to be in for a big battle royale pretty soon. Either way, really good chapter. I honestly enjoyed it. I can't wait for the next chapter in a month. I'm going to try and get more JoJo videos at some point out. I plan to make more. It's just I've had a lot of stuff going on my schedule, so we'll see how things pan out. But what did you guys think of this chapter? What did you think of Rohan and just the whole idea of him studying volcanoes? How do you think that's going to play into the full story? And how do you think they're going to get out of the situation with the stand-using cat? Leave your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. It really helps, and I just like hearing what you guys have to say. If you haven't already, like and subscribe, hit the notification bell for updates on future videos. It really helps and shows you guys enjoy the content I make on this channel. And it shows you guys want to see more JoJo goodness that I honestly want to do on this channel a lot more. But with all that said and done, I hope you guys enjoyed this review, and I hope you all have an awesome day.